Well, could school reopenings or closures become a potent midterm issue for Republicans to win back the suburbs?
Oh, I think it could be, but I hope in God that look, maybe I'm kidding myself, but as time goes on, the voter who is just trying to figure out, as I said, how to take care of their family, put 3 squares on the table, stay safe, be able to pay their mortgage or their rent, etc., is becoming much more informed on the motives of some of the political players and some of the political parties. And I think that they are not going to be as susceptible to believing some of the outlandish things that have been said and continue to be said. You know, every president, not necessarily in the first 12 months, but every president the first couple of years, every president, of the last presidents, at least 4 of them, have had polling numbers that are 44% favorable. So it's this idea that, but you all, not you all, but now it is, well, Biden's at, one poll showed him at 33%. The average is 44, 45%. One poll him at 49%. I mean, the idea that the American public are trying to sift their way through what's real and what's fake. And I don't think I've never seen a time when the political coverage,
Biden's press conference was a total disaster. In this video, we're going to take a look at some of the more embarrassing highlights of the already humiliating event. We're going to see what others are saying about it, and stick with me to the very end of this video, and I'll reveal what the real takeaway from this cringeworthy conference really is. You're not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Stevie with you. Great to be with you. As always, I am your daily fake news antidote, as each and every day I provide patriotic analysis to help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. If you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe. But before we begin, gang, we can now officially let you know where and when you could see me and Donald Trump Jr. live and in person. We are going to be in Houston, Texas. I am so excited to get out to the great Lone Star State and see all you Turley talkers out there on January 29th. So make sure to click on that link below and register for this amazing event. I'll be speaking with Don Jr., Kayleigh McEnany, Dinesh D'Souza, other amazing patriots, and I want to look out into the crowd and see even more Turley talkers than we saw at our jam-packed Phoenix event. We want to bring as many patriots together as we can to celebrate freedom and the original traditions that made this nation so great. And to make it even sweeter, after the event, I'm going to be holding an exclusive Turley Talks live Q&A. So if you're one of the first 150 people to sign up for the Houston event, you're going to be invited to hang out with me and my team on that Saturday night. So you get to ask your question at the live Q&A, you get a photo with me, you get to discuss the future of the nation with fellow like-minded patriots. So hurry up, get your tickets now, because these are spots that are quite limited. They're going fast. Don't forget to click on the button below now to find out more about joining me, Donald Trump Jr., and other awesome patriots in Houston on January 29th. All right, gang, so let's dive right in here. Let's be blunt. Let's not beat around the bush here. We now know why Biden doesn't do press conferences. Yesterday, Biden held his first solo press conference in an unprecedented 10 months. And in no uncertain terms, it was an abject disaster. It was a colossal catastrophe. If Biden was an insurance policy, that press conference would have been labeled an act of God. It was akin to a literal natural disaster. Here's all you need to know on how it went. Here's what trended on Twitter right after the conference. Hashtag dementia. Election Wizard put it this way: Joe Biden's press conference was one of the saddest and most pathetic things I've ever seen. Jack Posobiec tweeted out, Biden's press conference solidified it. He will be primaried by his own party in 2024 if he even runs. Even CNN was honest, at least. Van Jones said that Biden was, quote, foggy and meandering during what appeared at points to be a never-ending press conference. Those descriptors, foggy and meandering, is about as close as CNN is going to get to questioning Biden's cognitive health. Here's one of my favorite of those foggy moments. Look how Biden reacts when asked about the filibuster.
Caitlin?
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I have a question for you, but first, I'd like to follow up on a question from Yamiche, and that's on the filibuster.
That counts as a question, but go ahead.
Okay, I'll make it quick. It's a quick question.
You can.
Regarding the filibuster, at John Lewis's funeral, President Barack Obama said he believed the filibuster was a relic of the Jim Crow era. Do you agree?
Yes.
If not, why not abolish it if it's a relic of the Jim Crow era?
Successful electoral politics is the art of the possible. Let's figure out how we can get this done.
That was one long pause. That's called a brain freeze, gang. And then he mutters out a bunch of euphemisms that literally mean nothing. And then he was asked about election integrity. I kid you not. Biden was asked by one of the pre-selected activists disguised as reporters that if the federalizing of American elections isn't passed in the Senate, which it wasn't, thank God, do you think that the midterm elections will be legitimate? Here is what he sputtered.
Thank you, Mr. President. Speaking of voting rights legislation, if this isn't passed, do you still believe the upcoming election will be fairly conducted and its results will be legitimate?
Well, it all depends on whether or not we're able to make the case to the American people that some of this is being set up to try to alter the outcome of the election.
It all depends. That was his answer. Will the midterm elections be legitimate? And Biden's answer is, well, it all depends. It all depends if we can federalize the elections and take them away from Republicans who are deliberately trying to predetermine the outcome. All we're missing is Vladimir Putin and the Russians getting involved. Oh, and speaking of that, perhaps the single most startling comment of the evening was Biden's response to a question about the supposed imminence of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which is BS. Biden, in fact, said that while he expects Putin to invade Ukraine, he said that a, quote, minor incursion by the Russians would elicit a softer response from the United States than a full-scale invasion. A minor incursion, you know, like Crimea. Sure, just take a small portion of Ukraine, maybe like the Donbass region. And if you limit it to that, then hey, look, you know, frankly, we're basically good. National Review's Dan McLaughlin responded, Biden is attacking the legitimacy of American elections while signaling Putin to try a minor incursion in Ukraine. None of this is normal. None of this is okay. Here's another response. Biden just appeared to okay a minor Russian incursion in Ukraine. So invasion of an independent neighbor nation is bad and incursion is okay with this president. Now, needless to say, Ukrainian officials were reportedly shocked and stunned by Biden's comments. Two things should be noted here. First and foremost, okay, I made the extensive argument in another video that you can check out that I do not believe that Russia is poised to invade Ukraine. I think this is a bunch of deep state Cold War bullshit that's doing nothing less than attempting to cover up the mess that Washington made of Ukraine. Okay, so you can check that video out for my argument there. But you'll notice Biden was far more concerned about Ukraine's border than he was with our own southern border. He didn't address the crisis at the southern border once last night. Now, again, that's largely because the pre-approved activists disguised as reporters didn't ask about it. But seriously, when the permanent political class is more concerned about Ukraine's borders than our own, you know their days are coming to an end. And then there was the moment that Biden lost his cool when he actually had his own words read back to him. He sounded like an angry dementia patient. Take a look.
One more, sir. You campaigned and you ran on a return to civility. And I know that you dispute the characterization that you called folks who would oppose those voting bills as being Bull Connor or George Wallace. But you said that they would be sort of in the same camp.
No, I didn't say that. Look what I said. Go back and read what I said and tell me if you think I called anyone who voted on the side of the position taken by Bull Connor that they were Bull Connor. And that is an interesting reading of English. I assume you got into journalism because you like to write.
So did you expect that would work with Senators Manchin or Sinema?
No, here's the thing. There's certain things that are so consequential. You have to speak from your heart as well as your head. I was speaking out forcefully on what I think to be at stake. That's what it is. And by the way, no one forgets who was on the side of King or Bull Connor. No one done that. The history books will note it. And when I was making the case, don't think this is a freebie. You don't get to vote this way and then somehow it goes away. This will stick with you the rest of your career and long after you're gone.
And Mr. President.
Now, for the record, here are Biden's exact words. Here's what he said.
How do you want to be remembered? At consequential moments in history, they present a choice. Do you want to be on the side of Dr. King or George Wallace? Do you want to be on the side of John Lewis or Bull Connor? Do you want to be on the side of Abraham Lincoln or Jefferson Davis? This is the moment to decide, to defend our elections, to defend our democracy.
So I'll let you be the judge as to whether Biden said that those who oppose the federalization of our elections were in the same camp as George Wallace and Jefferson Davis. I'll let you compare your reading of English to Biden's. All in all, the very fact that the media is doing exegetical cartwheels to try to find any semblance of hope in that disaster is all you really need to know. Joe Biden is done. No one's listening to him anymore. The regime is finished. And now, with the midterms coming up, it's time to begin ridding our nation of this administration for good. Now, before you go, you will definitely want to check out my latest video I just uploaded on how the Supreme Court and Kyrsten Sinema have dealt twin death blows to Biden. You're going to absolutely love it. So make sure to click on the link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.